Hello my friends and welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! Master SP Deck Challenge Deck Overviews Part 10 of this series. So, before I begin, please like, share, and subscribe, and consider ringing the notification bell for regular content by selecting the bell and selecting personalized, or you can check out all my content if you really want to help me out by selecting the bell and selecting all. Personalized is for the videos you like most, while all is pretty much if you are enjoying all of my content or you just really want to help me out. However, like, I'm pretty much making like Mastel content, so if you like Mastel, like, maybe you should just might as well pick all for now. You can always change it later if you want. But yeah, let's get into this. And I do know basic HTML and CSS now, like, because I passed a class on that, so that's pretty nice. Maybe I could work on a website if enough people say they want me to. And it won't be like an official website. It could probably just be using my something I got like with my class. Maybe I can just utilize that for the website. So it may not look exactly like a website should. It may not have the .com or anything, but like, I just don't want to like really like pay for websites. So maybe this way I can like circumvent kind of paying for it, and it can still work out. And so maybe like if people say they want me to make a website, I could do that. But yeah, slowly but surely kind of a thing. But I think once I get my website graded, I'll show you like an example website of like what I can basically do like so far. Like, it's gonna be like the website is basically showing off a lot of what I can do. So maybe if you like my example, like, maybe I could like work on like something like that for Mastel, and like put like my schedule in that. I don't know about a poll just yet, but maybe I could just like have like a little bit of a form thing to where I have like a question each week on that. Like, maybe people won't necessarily be seeing like how it won't be exactly like a regular poll, like, but like maybe just something in there for fun. Like, if you want to like answer that form, you can feel free. It may not like exactly have like how many people answered a certain way, but like just something for fun. And then maybe later on I could like make it look more legit, as look like even more professional. I can always like update it as I go along with my schooling and all that. Like that could be something kind of fun. Anyway, let's get into this next duel here. I mean, not duel, but the deck overview. I think this was the one I did yesterday. Yeah, this was the... Oh, wait, no. This was the one I took on yesterday. Yeah. So then it's the next one after this, which makes it... Oh! Basically third to final one of part 1, so that's pretty good. I'm making some pretty good progress here. Anyway, this one's called The Glory of the Divine Beast, and it's pretty nice. Like, there's no X deck for this one, so maybe this will go by a little bit faster. This time it's a lot more of a god deck, more focus on the gods, kind of like how my opponent's deck was the last time. But unlike my opponent's deck, I am running a lot more spellcasters than my opponent did. So, yeah, and the cool thing about Apprentice Illusion Magician is that I don't necessarily need to discard a spellcaster, so she's pretty easy to summon. And then I won't be adding a Dark Magician with her because I don't have one. Also, he's pretty cool. Unfortunately, this doesn't count in my opening hand, but if I just draw him for, like, off of a spell, or off of, like, my regular draw phase, or I could even, like, place him on top of my deck using the card advance if I have, like, a way to draw him right away. But, I mean, card advance is also pretty nice because, the true name, like, I'll know exactly what to call. Anyway, the deck description of this reads: a deck that combines the devastating forces of Slifer the Sky Dragon, Obelisk the Torment, and the Winged Dragon of Va. Bringing out any of those monsters requires careful planning. Take full advantage of cards like Soul Crossing, which allows you to trigger your monster your opponent controls. This way you will find yourself closer to victory. Yeah, so I can use Soul Crossing if I want. Basically, it's one of those spells that allows me to, like, treat one of my opponent's monsters as a tribute for a tribute summon of, I think, Divine Beast. Yeah, Divine Beast specifically. But it does lock me into only being able to activate one card effect. Until the end of the next turn. That's kind of crazy. Anyway, though. So, like, but I don't necessarily have to do that because, like, I have ways of getting 3 monsters onto the field, either by special summoning, like, her, because, like, she's not once per turn, so if I have more than one of her, I can just special summon both of them. It requires 2 discards, but it gets me 2 monsters on the field, which is pretty nice. Also, I can also special summon Millennium Seeker if I take 1,000 more battle effect damage. And the cool thing about this is that if my opponent has a really high defense monster or something, and I can maybe attack the Apprentice Illusion Magician to it, like, I won't lose the Apprentice Illusion Magician, but if I take 1,000 battle damage at least, like, maybe my opponent has like a 3,000 defense. I'm not sure if they would, but if they did, I could just do that, special summon out at least one of these guys. I'm not sure if it's yeah, it looks like it's a hard once per turn, and then I would be able to potentially just be able to, like, special summon something on my opponent's graveyard to my field if I didn't have a third one. So that's cool. So it can also give me another tribute target that way. If depending on if my opponent chooses to stop it or not. Your opponent can choose one monster from their deck. If they choose not to... Oh, it makes it so that my opponent can add a monster from the deck to the hand? That kind of stinks. And that's so easy to meet, too. So, why would my opponent not add the monster? Why would my opponent just not add a monster? That's crazy. I don't know how good this special summon is, but, like, at least it's giving me another body. Yeah, and then Ra's Disciple, kind of the same thing. It's a little unfortunate that Ra's Disciple, like, if I normal summon him, though, like, it doesn't actually allow me to be given another tribute summon. However, I can be given another... I can be granted a tribute summon off of card advance, so if I had card advance and Ra's Disciple, that is and a god, or somehow go into a god, get a god into my hand, I can, like, always use card advance afterwards. Or I could use it before, because it really doesn't matter when I use it, because they'll remember that I have that tribute summon. Yeah, and I kind of already talked about, like, the cool thing about the gods. I'll just do a little bit of a summarization. Obelisk is good for getting rid of my opponent's field of monsters, but only if I have like but I basically need to set up 2 more monsters on top of that, on top of bringing him out, so that could be kind of difficult. So I don't know if he's actually the best, but I mean, at least he has the most base attack out of all of them. And then Slifer the Sky Dragon is good if I have a lot of cards in hand, but he quickly becomes worse and worse as I start to use my cards. But at least he does make it so that my opponent's monsters will get weaker and potentially just be destroyed. So if my opponent's playing a lot of weak monsters already, like as in 2,000 less monsters already, they might have a hard time establishing a board. So maybe it doesn't matter that he's super weak if my opponent can't establish a board anyway. Because like he'll just get rid of everything if they're reduced to 0, and if they have less than 2,000 tackles, it's not like you can go below 0, so it still work on them too, and that works for special, normal or special summons. So yeah, but they could just circumvent it by not putting them in attack position. So that's another thing that kind of stinks. Winged Dragon of, but I don't know like how much my opponent's gonna be able to circumvent it, because like remember like these deck lists aren't really built for stuff like that. This actually, Slifer's actually not super bad against Floundries, since a lot of the Floundries cards will have will have not enough attack to be able to like stay safe, and they have to be normal summon and attack. And then Winged Dragon of Ra, actually not too bad against a lot of, actually like Slifer is pretty good against like quite a few of the meta decks, like Sprites, like they kind of have to like put out normal summon. I mean, they could circumvent it if they have Sprite started, but if they have to do a normal summon, usually it's not going to be a very high attack normal summon either. I mean, T-Elements could get past this, I bet. But yeah. Anyway, Winged Dragon of Ra. He's good if you want to go to OTK. He's like one of the best ways of getting into an OTK, because you can like have him gain such high amount of attack points as long as you have like high life points. And even if you don't want to, like you could even just turn him into a way of destroying monsters. Like he could also just get rid of an entire field like Obelisk, but like less of an investment of monsters and more of an investment of life points. But I think like in most cases, like the just paying life points to destroy a monster is better when it's not once per turn than like having to get rid of 2 monsters to get rid of a whole field. But I guess it depends. But like also a cool thing about Ra is that he has like monster support as well. Like this one can just special summon itself if your Ra was to ever get destroyed, which is pretty cool as long as it's in the graveyard. It can also special summon it from the deck, and this one can also special summon Winged Dragon of Ra from the deck. So like there's like other support, like unlike these guys, like that the only support is really like spell and trap support. So yeah, I guess that's one thing that Ra also has going for it. Because the monster support is actually not that bad anyway, and Sphere Mode doubles as a way to cripple the opponent's field. And then eventually getting into your plays anyway. It just takes a little bit longer if you choose to summon it to your opponent's field. And then Raigeki is more destruction. Destruction. Like I think these are pretty straightforward. Monster Reborn, on top of being able to special summon some of your regular monsters, this also has the upside of being able to special summon Raw, assuming that those cards are still being played. Yeah, that being able to summon Raw utilizing something like this, or even something like Dark Spell regeneration, which also allows you to basically special summon Raw. But this one is not exactly off of the Monster Reborn. It's special summoning it by the effect of this card. But yeah, this is a way, I guess, to put in the graveyard, and then you can like bring out the graveyard with Millennium Revelation. And even just being able to like add a Monster Reborn from the graveyard to your hand is actually kind of nice, even if you're not playing to summon Raw with it. Like being able to like have more uses of Monster Reborn is still not bad, considering that you only get one Monster Reborn, so this just basically gives you more copies. And then Ultimate Divine Beast is a little bit more useful now that we have the other Divine Beasts, because like unlike Raw, they can be special summoned. Like Obelisk and Slifer can both be special summoned, so you actually get to utilize the special summon effect as well. And then of course, like, we're using more of the God support cards since we're playing more of the gods. So like we have which is nice because like a few of these are actually pretty good. Like this, I mean, not I really like the, I think it's, yeah, the Thunder Force is pretty nice. Just drawing a whole bunch of cards, potentially destroying all spells and traps. I mean, yeah, I mean, since Harpy's Feather Duster is still limited, that can still be kind of nice. And then of course Mound the Bound Creator for helping protect them, and you have more search targets now in case you do get the search effect off. Also the burn can maybe make a difference, especially like if like you burn them and then you use the whole like paying life points for Raw, because usually if your opponent is at full life points, even with with an empty board, you can basically only get them to 7,900, assuming you also had full 8,000 life points. So like doing a little bit of burn is pretty nice for maybe like helping to take out the rest of that life points. Though this does have to destroy a monster at battle, so you might not even be able to get it if you're like attacking to a monster anyway. So if you're just attacking directly with it, you won't get that burn anyway. Which does kind of stink. This one is also another way for you to be able to get out the Raw right away, even if you have to use up a normal summon on like a Raw's Disciple. True Name is good with card advance, because then you can just make sure you call the right card. And it doesn't even have to be calling a god. If you want to stack on top of your deck something other than one of your Divine Beasts, you can. Which might be a little bit better actually. Because this one can just like search for a divine monster anyway. So maybe it's better to stack your deck with something that's going to help bring that divine monster out. Part of Avarice, for when everything's sent to the graveyard, this is a way to get the stuff back into the deck, which is good. To actually have a way, because like they don't really have very many graveyard effects, so like a lot of them oh, you do have Dark Magician, so she can actually search for that. Okay. I didn't see that before. And then again, Foolish Bill, good for sending off the Immortal Phoenix because he wants me in the graveyard. He's one of the few monsters that actually wants me in the graveyard for being able to special summon when the Ra is destroyed. Okay, and then that's pretty much the first deck. So now I'll go for the opponent's deck. Yeah, my opponent's not playing the Winged Dragon of Ra, so even if you bring the Sphere Mode out to the opponent's side of the field, you can be safe knowing that your opponent's not going to be able to utilize it. But yeah, it's still really good. But this deck is, I'll explain why, though. So, Burning Red Eyes and the deck description reads a fusion exceeds summoning deck that revolves around the Red Eyes monsters. In the right situations, Red Eyes Fusion and Inferno Fire Blast can work together to deal devastating effect damage. See if you can pull it off. Yeah, and effect damage really kind of sucks against an Egyptian God player because they kind of want to be able to utilize their life points for some of their cards. So actually effect damage can not only like bring me closer to 0, but also like it makes it so that like some of my effects that utilize the life points, even the paying 1,000, like maybe I can't pay 1,000 as much now, or I can't have Ra gain as much life points. And I also gotta be kind of careful when paying life points, because if like I pay life points and I don't kill them right away, and then they inflict enough, and then maybe they only need to inflict a little bit of effect damage in order to kill me. Especially if I like only have like a little bit of life points, like because I paid a whole bunch to make Ra gain a bunch of attack. But I do have cards that kind of remedy that kind of can get me those life points back. Like that one trap, like it basically works by targeting a special summon Winged Dragon of Ra, and then I pay life points. But like I can like tribute it, so I kind of don't waste a normal summon ability, because that paying life points is only a normal summon. But then I can just tribute it to gain them back, so that's something I can do. But that only works for if I special summon the Winged Dragon of Ra. Like, not that I don't know if the like normal summoning it, paying life points, like is really that worth it. I don't think it's generally worth it doing that, like paying a whole bunch of life points. I think the paying 1,000 destroy monsters is probably much better. So I think it's better to just like bring him out with like Sphere Mode, or with like some other card that like gives him extra attack without you need to pay life points, so that you can utilize his just simply paying 1,000 life points to destroy a monster on the field. Like, I think that's a better effect. Anyway, Red Eyes Black Dragon. He's useful for a lot of reasons. He can be sent to the graveyard with the Foolish Bill with some other cards. He can be used as fodder to net you 2 more cards off of this. He can be used as fodder for Insight to net you another card. You can bring him back through some means like Spirit and return the Red Eyes. And then also like Red Eyes Fang with Chaining can be equipped with that. So yeah, he's useful for a lot of reasons, even though he's only a normal. This one can potentially just special summon it, but it's probably better just using this to special summon one of your Red Eyes cards that actually can get an effect. Like Archfiend is really good. I really like Archfiend because like this I mean anything with 2500 less defense can just be destroyed with this card, which can like actually be quite a few monsters. And if my guards are low enough, this could could potentially destroy those. Cool thing is, if he gains more extra attack, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to, but if he gains extra attack somehow, he can potentially destroy even like higher defense monsters. So yeah, it's not going to be destroying everything, but like it could still destroy quite a few of my monsters. And then if you don't want to bring out one of the big guys, like this can also bring out one of the smaller guys as well. Like maybe you could bring out Blackmount Dragon so that you can get a search when it's sent to the graveyard. And the search is pretty good because this allows you to get to your hand any of your Red Eyes cards. Baby Dragon can just special, like it's kind of like a slower Blackstone of Legend, so that's cool. It's another way, and it can also like add you your Blackmail Dragon too, which is pretty cool. And then Red Eyes Retro Dragon can help get your level 7 or low, can help get your Red Eyes monsters back from the graveyard when they're like potentially destroyed at battle, so that's pretty cool. Also grants you an additional normal summon of the Red Eyes. And then this one also counts as Red Eyes. So I mean, this is a way to be able to like you can equip the Blackmount Dragon to this card and then destroy it and then get the effect of Blackmount Dragon because it won't miss timing. I don't believe, yeah, no, because it's the when effects that miss timing, so this won't miss timing and you'll be able to destroy a spell or trap that the opponent controls at the same time. So that's pretty cool. And then this one can just protect your Red Eyes. It's kind of cool that if you have two on the field, then nothing can be destroyed by battle card effects, which is pretty neat. But this deck's only running one anyway. Wait, I don't think a lot of people really care too much about that, but that is kind of neat. And then Black Flare Dragon, just another way to inflict damage. And as I was saying, effect damage does kind of hurt when I am wanting to utilize my life points for some cards. And then Palmite's, and I don't think I really need to say like about the Hoppy's Feather Dust or the Forge Barrel very much. Like, although like Hoppy's in my deck is pretty nice. Like if my opponent like has like the Slash Dragon with equipped cards to it, because it doesn't actually target and so they can't negate it. But even if they could negate it, like it basically like would get it off the field anyway, so that's kind of cool. And then for my deck, it's more just to get rid of my spells or traps. I just thought like that was kind of a neat thing for when I'm utilizing against this kind of deck. And then it's also useful because of their maybe some of the other equipped cards. Maybe if they had like Fang with Chain, like this could potentially get rid of like more than one equipped card, which is nice. Like if they have more than one of these, so that like the slash becomes a little bit less annoying. And then it can also get rid of return too. However, they do get that bonus ability if I were to do that. And then Monster Reborn is pretty useful for bringing back some of their fusions as well as some of their regular monsters. I mean, it's pretty useful for bringing back the black metal to get another search. Or like I mean, well, one thing to like that, like maybe like you should think about if you're playing like Monster Reborn, maybe like the baby dragon could be a really good target. Because this this can like actually has quite a few good effects, like allowing you to like special summon Red Eyes anyway on destruction. Like if you were gonna bring out one of your like non-X deck Red Eyes anyway, like maybe bring out the baby dragon instead, because then this can like potentially also get you the black metal dragon on top of like just bringing out Red Eyes. And then Inferno Fire Blast, another way to inflict effect damage. Although it does keep Red Eyes Black Dragon from being able to attack, but if you're just using it for some kind of material anyway, that's fine. Yeah, it looks like they have quite a few cards for the effect damage. 1-for-1 to bring out the black metal, that's... Or like it brings out the Blackstone of Legend. I mean, you could just like bring out the Blackstone of Legend with 1-for-1 and bring out Black Metal Dragon anyway by tributing it, which is probably the better way to go if you really want to eventually have Black Metal Dragon out anyway, because instead of just filtering out your deck by 1, you now get to filter out your deck by 2. Red Eyes Fusion. Wait, no. It wouldn't search for that. My bad. I guess it like... I don't know. Black Metal Dragon might be the better special summon because this adds any Red Eyes card. And usually that's better because like a lot of the Red Eyes cards can get you like Red Eyes monsters into your graveyard anyway. And like especially getting you into the Red Eyes Fusion is pretty nice. And the best, like pretty much the best card to search with Black Metal Dragon is either gonna be the... But actually it's probably gonna be the Red Eyes Insight. Because then you get to like because this can get you to like your basically your Red Eyes Fusion anyway. So instead of just filtering out, you get to filter out by quite a bit because you get to not only send a Red Eyes, but then you get to like add a fusion from your deck. So that's pretty cool. And you also put a Red Eyes in the graveyard, which is nice for reviving it. Cards of the Red Stone, used for card draw, but generally not the cards you want to be searching off the Insight unless you already have fusion. Although it is nice, the card draw is nice, but generally you want to like try to bring out the Slash Dragon as soon as you can. And then Claw of Hermos. This is for bringing out the either the Time Magic Hammer or the Rocket Hermos Cannon. And then both can also be treated as equip cards. So if you already have Slash Dragon, like these make further good equips for Slash Dragon because they have like some really nice effects. Because they have some really nice effects when they're equipped. Plus, Slash Dragon can always send them to the graveyard to negate some targeting effects. Like this one allows a second attack and piercing battle damage, while this one, like, could potentially just allow it to, oh yeah, allows it to banish a monster for some period of time. And then yeah, Spirit for reviving monsters, Insight for sending, both sending and then adding a Red Eyes card. And then Red Eyes Bone is another effect damage card. And then Fangwood Chain is acts as another equip card. Oh yeah, Gaussbow is another one. That can be. Although with this one, oh, I guess it depends on like which monster you can send. Like if you can only send a spellcaster. Wait, what? What spellcaster are you gonna be using? Oh, so I guess if you can happen to be able to send the Time Wizard, you can always bring out this. And then if you're if you are having to send a warrior, these are the two you can bring out. And then this one this one like gives it further negates. Oh, and a second attack. So this one might actually be one of the best ones to bring out if you can actually use a warrior monster. And then Time Wizard of Tomorrow is another monster you can bring out with the how you bring this out? Oh, polymerization. Yeah. And this one, at the very least, I think you're still able to destroy monsters on the field either way. It's just like it's dependent on whether your opponent or you takes the damage. So this is much better than Time Wizard. Because Time Wizard, even though it could potentially just destroy opponent's monsters, this is still better. Because like the coin flip isn't dependent on if you're destroying on which side's monsters you're destroying. This one, it destroys like the same amount of monsters no matter what, which is pretty nice. Oh, and then Claw of Hermos, this is for if you're sending a dragon. So basically Claw of Hermos is always gonna be live, which is pretty nice. This one is probably the weakest of them because it just gives attack buffs. But it is a way to give Archfiend of Lightning a bunch of attack. Again, like as I said, like this isn't based off of its original attack. It's just based off of its current attack. So if you wanted to give Archfiend a bunch of attack to be able to basically guarantee you're destroying every single monster on your opponent's side of the field that can be destroyed, you can basically give this to the Archfiend. So that is kind of cool. Not sure like if like that's really needed when you could just bring out one of the other ones, which I think are arguably better, but I mean that's certainly something you can do if you wanted to. It wouldn't be equipped to Slash, but that doesn't really matter much anyway, because Slash can just send any equip card. So you don't need to equip it to Slash in order for you to be able to negate stuff with Slash. And then Meteor Black Comet Dragon can special summon no monsters. So like this can kind of get you back your Red Eyes. And And also it sends a Red Eyes monster from the hand or deck to a graveyard, so you can just basically set up that effect. So, I mean, it probably it's best to send Archfiend, inflict a little bit of burn damage there, but more importantly, you're making it so that when it's sent from the monster zone to the graveyard, you're gonna be able to guarantee you have the Archfiend in there to special summon, since Archfiend is pretty cool. As I was saying, looks like you have 2 of those, and then you also have 2 of these Archfiend Black Skull Dragons, which calls for level 6 Archfiend normal monster and a Red Eye Stone monster. So pretty much the Archfiend of Lightning and one of your Red Eyes, and your black. Well, it doesn't have to be a Black Dragon; it can be any of these Geminis also. But if you're using them, but if you're fusion summoning them by using them from the deck, it kind of has to be the original Red Eyes itself, since Geminis don't count as no monsters well in the deck. Yeah. Anyway, and then this one can also special summon out Red Eyes no. Oh wait, no, this one inflicts damage, and then you shuffle into deck. So you might want to pick one of the ones you care less about having in the graveyard. Shuffle them back. So maybe just pick the Red Eyes Black Dragon or any of your Geminis that aren't Archfiend of Lightning, because Archfiend of Lightning you kind of want to keep in the graveyard to later revive. And then Flare Metal Dragon is pretty cool. If you can bring out 2 level 7s, you get something that can actually deal quite a bit of burn damage. It's not like a lot initially, but the more that the opposing player activates cards or effects, the more burn damage it does, and it stacks. So if my opponent is somehow able to get 2 of these guys on the field, then it's just stealing 1,000 per card, which actually works pretty well. If I already paid life points, and then my opponent can just bring this out, and then if I'm not at full life points anyway, especially with maybe all the other burn they're doing, this could be a good way to make it so that there's not much else I can do. If I'm at low life points, I can't really activate much, and then that way they can close out the game either through this or through other monsters. And then also it allows for reviving monsters, but probably don't want to do it twice, because once it's out of materials, it's no longer doing that burn, and the burn's probably one of the coolest things about it. Anyway, so those are the 2 decks. I hope everyone enjoyed. Thank you for those who stayed for either my deck overview or my opponent's deck overview. I'll be leaving the verse in the description within the next few days, and also the verse discussion in the pinned comment within the next few days. I'll also leave some gratitude notes in the description as well within the next few days. And just a reminder to please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the notification bell for either personalized notifications or all notifications.